very hard to know. Certainly I have a much more concrete resolution than cancer.
I wondered though,
Your socioeconomic status, if you lived in a favela in Rio and somebody offered you the chance to immigrate to the sprawl, or if you lived in Zimbabwe and somebody offered you a chance to immigrate to the sprawl, you'd do it at the drop of a hat. You'd be way better off. You have a much better chance than people have in either of those places right now. So my secret ingredient was always the news. My secret ingredient was the way things are now in other countries. And so I put that down and say, hey, it's the future, and do it like that. Because otherwise, reproducing old clothes is just a really odd late 20th century, early 21st century thing that
obsessive recreation.
There's a ton of luxury goods, i.e. really expensive stuff, in the world. Somebody made me their version of the ugly T-shirt. But I don't know. I mean, it's as it says in the acknowledgments in the back. I got that by asking Bruce Sterling the wrong question. I was trying to get something to the end, and he said, "No, you don't want that. This is what you want. This is what everybody would be after." I just thought it was, I can say this because I didn't make it up. I just thought it was an incredibly cool piece of science fiction right there. "Money's under your seat," he said. They were rolling with a smooth, even crunch of tires and gravel toward a long, one-story, white-painted clapboard structure overhung with a roof that lacked a porch beneath it. Rural roadside architecture of some previous day, plain but sturdy. 4 smallish rectangular front windows had been modernized with plate glass. Milgram had the cardboard tube for the tracing paper upright between his thighs, 2 sticks of graphite left and a Kleenex in the right side pocket of his chinos. There was half of a fresh 5-foot sheet of foam core illustration board in the back seat in case he needed a flat surface to work on. Holding the bright red tube with his knees, he bent forward, fishing under the seat, and found a metallic blue envelope with a molded integral zipper and 3 binder holes. It contained enough bungled hundreds to give it the heft of a good-sized paperback dictionary. Gravel crunch ceased as they halted, not quite in front of the building. Milgram saw a primitive rectangular sign on 2 weather-grayed uprights, rain-stained and faded, unreadable except for "Family" in pale blue italic serif caps. There were no other vehicles in the irregularly shaped gravel lot. He opened the door, got out, stood the red tube in his left hand. He considered, then uncapped it, drawing out the furled tracing paper. He propped the red tube against the passenger seat, picked up the money, and closed the door. A scroll of semi-translucent white paper was less threatening. Cars passed on the highway. He walked the 15 feet to the sign, his shoes crunching loudly in the gravel. Above the blue italic "Family," he made out "Edge City" in what little remained of a peeling red. Below it, "Restaurant." At the bottom to the left had once been painted in black the childlike silhouettes of 3 houses. Though like the red, sun and rain had largely erased them. To the right, in a different blue than "Family," was painted what he took to be a semi-abstract representation of hills, possibly of lakes. He guessed that this place was on or near the town's official outskirts, hence the name. Someone within the silent, apparently closed building rapped sharply once on plate glass, perhaps with a ring. Milgram went obediently to the front door, the tracing paper upheld in one hand like a modest scepter, the vinyl envelope held against his side with the other. The door opened inward, revealing a football player with an 80s porn haircut, or someone built like one, a tall, long-legged young man with exceptionally powerful-looking shoulders. He stepped back, gesturing for Milgram to enter. "Hello," said Milgram, stepping into warm, unmoving air, mixed sense of industrial strength infected in years of cooking. "I have your money," indicating the plastic envelope. "A place unused, though ready to be used, mothballed," Ed's city, like a B-52 in the desert. He saw the empty glass head of a gum machine on its stand of wrinkle-finished brown pipe. "Put it on the counter," the young man said. He wore pale blue jeans and a black T-shirt, both of which looked as though they might contain a percentage of spandex, and heavy-looking black athletic shoes. It was like being on the bottom of a Coney Island Gravis game, one in which the eclectically ungrabbed had been accumulating for decades. He looked up, imagining a giant three-pronged claw, agent of stark removal, but there was only a large and heavily varnished shark suspended overhead like the fuselage of a small plane. How old did a place like this have to be in America, he wondered, to have gay in its name? Some percentage of the stock here, he judged, had been manufactured in occupied Japan. Half an hour earlier, across North Ocean, some percentage of the stock here, he judged, had been manufactured half an hour earlier, one in North Ocean, one in stock, one in judge had been manufactured in occupied Japan. Half an hour earlier, across North Ocean, some percentage of the stock here, he judged, had been manufactured in occupied Japan. Half an hour earlier, across North Ocean, contain some percentage of the stock here, he judge had been manufactured in occupied Japan. Half an hour earlier, across North Ocean, some percentage of the stock here, he judge had been manufactured in occupied Japan. Half an hour earlier, across North Ocean, some percentage of the stock here, he judge born had been manufactured in occupied Japan. Half an hour earlier, across North Ocean, upheld hand, Some survivor sentence appendage of the class, stock class, theory class, judge class, second class, nanny class, fractured class, oct class, side class, Japan class, and class. For a long everybody happened out was singing earlier across North with two friends who I gave them my stories and mailed them some magazines. Yeah, or to the original anthologies, and each time they were accepted. I was like, why did you do that? I tried it, I actually kind of mixed feelings about that. And I don't think I ever shared either anything in the manuscript. But that was such a kind of support. I mean, when you're just starting out writing, it's kind of supportive. Your friends don't say, "That's stupid. Quit doing that." And that's what I always, that's what I've always. That's what I expected people to say then, and in some sub-basement of my being, I still expect that every time I finish a book, I do some little voice on it. That's stupid. Quit doing that. And the biggest thing, I mean, that's the biggest piece of advice I can give anybody who wants to be a writer is you're just going to have to ignore that voice. You have that voice, and lots of writers do. You just have to kind of ignore it. It won't shut up, but you can ignore it, because if you don't, you'll never write anything. So thank you very much for coming, and I'll now